Hey, welcome to MESArc. I'm Mr. Marshall, and I've got the Road Warriors department here. And we just finished our big race, and did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
A whole semester's worth of work, and then you guys get that one day to actually race it against each other. Whose cars survived?
Woo!
Mine did, and I did.
Nope.
So that's not too bad. My car was total.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. Leffler. And who else's car went down?
Mine.
Yeah, but you guys won though, right?
Yeah. And then Jason last.
So you guys were in first.
Well, it was like me and it was us and then them. It was like, but then they went to like a third hill.
You guys were in third, or second or
No,
third?
I think we were in second, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we were like third or fourth.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, that was a lot of fun. There was a lot of hype around it and stuff. You guys got a chance to kind of test your cars out before you went out. But what we want to do before we kind of break apart now, because we've been kind of together on this whole semester, kind of walking through the design piece and how we go about creating something like this. And so now, as you guys start to go on your own paths the second semester and actually start to engineer your own products, we need to see first, before we release this as a design plan, what went well with it, what didn't go well with it, so that you guys can take that into your builds. So if you know that there was a con on this build, that you know that you wouldn't do that to your guys' designs in the future. But let's first go with the good. Let's go with the pros. And what was some of the good features about the car?
It looked good.
Yeah,
It looked
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Cosmetically, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What else?
Let's see.
The positioning of the shocks was as well as it could be.
Which ones?
I would have to say the front, so that allows you more.
Yeah, the
access
front
to go
shocks were okay. I think
The supporters were the best.
yeah, the way we supported was the
Teachers,
best.
please pardon the interruption. Mrs. Shump's 6th period class, would you please come to the library? Mrs. Shump's 6th period class to the library right now. Thank you.
The back, because just the nature of it was because we had a no drive shafts in the back.
That turned out pretty good actually.
Yeah, we kind of had to go this route, or else we would get too high, right?
Yeah.
But we might have a solution to the axle problem in the back. Colton, why don't you share what you kind of figured out?
So, yeah, I've been working on this differentials that are 3D printed, and then Boca Bearings hooked me up and got me some bearings. So basically, yeah, it just runs right on. It's like, instead of just the axle and the spur, it's like, it's got gearing in it. So it's like differentials and
Right.
all that.
So it might be easier on our motors, right?
Yeah.
Did anybody fry up their motors?
Oh,
Maybe.
we kind of did. So when we were pulling into like the finish line, it was kind of smoky. We saw like a trail of smoke behind you. We're like, oh no, oh no.
And that was not just the axle. I mean, so let's stay with the pros. So for what we have, the shocks, the supports, so the suspension worked okay. So Colin, you can put that. Yeah. What else?
The back didn't break at all. I don't think any of us had any problems with it. It might have not been the best performance, but nothing broke on it.
It was pretty sturdy, except for the front.
Yeah,
So
the front was.
the back was sturdy. So
Yeah.
we
But
liked
yes.
the back.
That was something to be expected because something that thin, obviously.
Did we hit anybody from behind?
Well, we got hit. Like ours broke from we got hit. We got hit by another car.
We
I
drove
think-
into someone.
No, yeah, you
No,
guys
but-
drove
oh, yeah.
into us.
Because there was like a little scrim and then they like hit each other and then we came in and we didn't want to, strip anything, so kind of just hit them and it cracked. So then that's when our car broke and we were driving around like one
Yeah.
wheel or three wheels.
For the application, did the axle seem to work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear too many stripping going on.
Yeah, it slipped a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine
Not much.
mine did
Only
like
when you
maybe
needed
2
like full
times that
throttle to
other
get
was.
ahead.
Not too
or
much.
something.
Once you tightened it up, it was like,
Yeah.
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 Like the first like good 15 seconds it was fine. Then it starts to like get a little loose.
So the back was strong. In terms of the ease of build, was the back? What was easy? What was easy for the back?
the shocks.
The shocks were the easiest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suspension wasn't too bad. Okay, so that's good. So I guess would it be our whole placements were okay for suspension, or should we adjust the whole?
Yeah, I think
I like it.
Yeah, I liked how I think adjusted it after.
So put suspension slots. Okay. So we know we're not changing that.
Just like shocks are okay.
Yeah. What about the 3D printed pieces? Because I know.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, those all didn't break.
Yeah,
at all.
they worked pretty well. We just had to drill new holes on our shelves, but otherwise it was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was
They were really easy to install.
So we're let's just put a con. Maybe it didn't seem to be too bad because you guys drilled new holes in. Okay, well we won't.
Yeah.
mess with them. Do we
But it
need
was
to?
kind of sad though. You're like, oh, I have to drill a hole
I
in this
know.
brand
And
new
it-
shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of them had holes perfectly, and then.
Yeah.
Yours turned out fine.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I designed it on that because I thought all of them
Oh
was the
yeah,
same.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so 3D printed pieces worked fine. And the bodies obviously worked okay.
Yeah.
So that was good. Let's see. Now it's probably just, battery placement. Was that
good.
okay?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Receiver placement was okay?
Yeah.
I think the steering placement wasn't the best because it was under. It doesn't have as much ground clearance as it could if we moved the battery back and had the steering on the top like the Cactus does.
Okay, so con, we could say steering
Steering
on
placement.
steering placement. So we'll have to, that'll be on the to-do list. So
Steering
the pros
placement?
is that
Steering
steering,
placement,
yeah, steering placement. So the pros was looked cool. Shocks were good. The positioning of the shocks were okay. Battery tray is good. Let's see what else. What about ESC placement?
For the battery case, one thing we need to do is in the back, that the wire that comes out of the battery, it kind of lifted the battery up because of the tray. We need to find some way to like cut a hole in there, so that way the
Cons.
whatever.
Yeah, I gotcha.
The wire,
Gotcha.
whatever, will go through that thing.
Wire exit for battery. And then what about the ESC placement? Was it okay for you guys
Yeah.
to plug in?
Easy to reach.
Yeah.
Reach?
Yeah.
Through
It's
the
kind of
the
protected.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty protected from rocks and other cars.
Okay. Tires were okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Kason and I, we had a bit of a problem getting our front tires straight because of the turnbuckles. We couldn't, like, get them further or
Yeah.
smaller.
Same
I had
as
that
too.
problem, but it was easy to fix, just time consuming.
Yeah.
Turnbuckle things are not as good. Okay. I wonder if that's just is that a hole placement for where those are at, or just getting the right length turnbuckles?
So,
Just
it depends on the car, but, so for mine, these were too far pushed out, so it was kind of like
Oh.
this. So then I had to tighten these so it would
These are
Yeah.
straight
this
out.
to this,
Same
yeah.
as-
And then I had to adjust the front. But
Were the 3D printed pieces for the turnbuckles okay?
yeah, it could be better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
that was
just-
pretty good.
Well, although for the front though, for like where the C clips and stuff are super hard to get on that
Yeah.
thing. So when you're trying to go, you're like, come
I
on,
know,
come on,
and
come
then
on, and
we-
it goes,
we
and then you
probably
lose it, and you're like,
lost about like
come
two
on.
of them, maybe one of them, and I had to go find them.
They're not too expensive. But I
Yeah.
mean, what other alternative can we do for C clamps? Put comms with C clamps.
Yeah, we
They-
gotta
they
find
were just,
something
like,
different
so
that's
hard, and
easier.
you have to have like nails to like get them on, or
I
else you
used a
can't
pli-
get them
I
on.
just used a pair of pliers and
Yeah, needle nose.
Yeah,
I
but
could-
some,
yeah.
but they're still harder than something else that could, if we could get something different, that'd be much better.
I
So
could screw on cap.
stain,
Yeah,
Yeah.
stain. Okay, yeah, I see what you're
I
saying.
mean, but like a more substantial, like
Easy to use.
Yeah.
User.
Or like a kind of like a smooth bore screw that just goes through it all, and you can but has threads at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like one that's like it's the screw that's all smooth, and then at the end just a little bit.
Okay, so someone will have to do some research on that and see how long it is, and then the size, and we can order some. And see how that goes on the next car. It'll probably be a lot stronger too.
But yeah.
Okay, so obviously there's an ice store right here, and that's the front.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Okay, so one, I mean, just the structural integrity of that front piece was just, as soon as you guys bumped into something, it was
Done.
For example,
Done.
Cason's and Justin's, they just
Yeah.
set theirs down and it just cracked.
Yeah, so what can we do to fix? So the con would be the front,
Front end?
yeah, front end.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we would have done a bumper, do you think that would have helped?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Or do you
yeah.
think that even if you still would have hit the
If
bumper,
you
it
hit
still
the
would have
Yeah, it
wheeled?
would still.
Well,
They
maybe
hit the
if we
wheel or
had a
something.
bumper coming out from like the chassis coming down and stuff, that'd be better. But if it was connected to this, I think it'd just still smash it.
I don't think it would be about how hard you hit the wall or like something. Because if you have a bumper and you don't hit something like this hard, like me and Colin literally hit a wall, not even going, 2 miles an hour and it cracked. If you don't hit it hard enough, it might protect it a lot more than it would regularly.
Well, Kason and I, we put a little bumper that came off,
And it still broke.
and it's still broke, and we didn't hit that hard.
Okay. I wonder if our angle is not inclined enough in the front. Because if you look at Traxxas stuff, their front end is, I mean, their angle is even more so
Yeah.
to take on those brunt hits. Because if you think about it, if we're hitting the car straight on, there's not a whole lot of give here. I mean, the only
Like
give
going
is
back?
straight down, right? So if we were to kind of hit something to go over it, we almost need this to go more at an angle so that it can take more of a beating that way. Does that make sense?
So the shocks need to go back.
We just need to increase this angle of attack right here. This just needs to be more of an angle. So increase angle, I guess. If you guys are gonna do this. Now, if you guys are gonna do something small, like a Lamborghini or buggy or rallycross car, that you'll have to look into because I'm sure those angles could be different. So you might have to,
Yeah, those are more not like off-road, but more on smooth surfaces.
right.
So you wouldn't have to worry about that as much as you would with a lobster.
What
Yeah.
if we made like a bumper that had like shocks coming out of here, and then when you hit a wall, it would just
I
be
was
like.
thinking. That's so funny. I was thinking of that in my head. I was like, nah, I won't say it.
So a bumper, I mean, would you do it yourself type shocks, or because I don't think we'd be buying another $20 worth of shocks.
Yeah.
Even like the tiny springs for like lead pencils or
pens
something.
stuff?
Yeah, it could just boing boing boing. Be
Yeah.
better than nothing.
Yeah, so I was watching video and so the NASA's using foam to protect the space shuttles because it would absorb the impact with like a meteorite, it's really small. So if you put something foam on the front, that would protect and absorb some of the shock lessening or deadening it. So when it actually got to the car, but to
What
some
kind-
extent.
What kind of foam should we get?
Did you guys use the foam?
Yeah,
Like
we
styrofoam.
did.
Oh, from the Lulzbot packaging?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that or.
Okay.
Yeah, that was us, but that went when I wanted to hot glue it to something, I just went like this and went and just pretty much like
It just
Just
melted.
melted.
in.
Yeah,
melted
that's like
through the-
you-
Yeah, those.
Yeah, we'll have to find a fail-safe type.
duct tape.
How was the mech though when you guys put it together? Was the mech like putting all that front piece together? Was that easy, difficult?
That was no, it was really difficult.
yeah.
I found an easy way to do it, and I kept trying to tell Josh, but nobody would listen to me.
What?
So I punched through this piece right here. I punched it through the back piece, and then I just slid that up, and then it was,
Oh, okay.
it was quicker and easier.
Overall, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah. Well, to do all 2D wood pieces to make
Yeah.
it.
And then you need that the underpiece, which we lost, so we had to wait a
Yeah.
couple days
Yeah, we
to
had to
get it
wait like a
printed
So,
out again. And so
I wonder if we did, if we did that same piece, but we 3D printed it,
yes,
because then all you have to do is just an easier way to attach it. So we'd have to make, because I don't want to abandon this thing. I want to go back to it
That'd be pretty cool. Make it better.
and make it better and keep on growing on this. And I know some of you guys want to go your own route, but and I know some of you guys are going to probably want to go back and fix this one and get it back up again. But yeah, we can definitely 3D print something in the front instead of having the two spokes that go out on the side right here. Because you ended up making a bunch of more spacers,
yes.
right? So
Yeah,
we
like
flipped it. This whole piece has now become solid.
Yeah, instead
Yeah,
of because
and
having
then
to
it wouldn't
replace
break.
it
It would
over
never
and
break.
over.
So this whole piece right here would be
Solid.
So yeah,
Solid, like-
this is the issue that the kids were having, is that you only had 2 pieces here, and then as soon as they hit, they'd break. So they print off a bunch of them, stuck them in here, and that kind of
Helped a lot more.
helped out a little bit more.
But
So
it's still broke.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's still
so-
broke.
if it's all 3D printed pieces, and we can change our angle of attack better
It'll
on
work
3D,
so much better.
yeah, we might be able to.
Yeah.
Right. All up weight. You think we could have done a little better on weight? Is there anything that we could do to maybe lighten up the chassis? Yeah.
I think it's already weak enough as it is. I think the weight was actually pretty good on it.
Yeah.
And
For-
once you strip it down, it's super
So
light. It's mostly the motor and the gears and shaft and wheels.
Back
That
end.
makes sense.
Like
back
we
end.
can't change really.
Yeah.
But the back end's a lot heavier than the front because
Oh,
of the
yeah.
motor and the
It
yeah.
holds all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I agree with it. When it's just the red, like how did Marshall or whoever's the red one is.
So
A lot
if Colton's design works,
Obviously.
which would be really cool, if Colton's design, if he can get this thing to work, then what we'll do is we'll 3D print 5 or so boxes out for you guys, if not maybe more, and then you guys will essentially just have this piece here that will then hook to 2 drive shafts that will go off the side here, and they'll connect more so like the similar trucks that you guys are used to. You can take this thing and you can pretty much plop it down on any flat piece you want as your chassis design to fit any shell that you want to. So if this is going to be our new mode here, our new model of play, we are now able to not have to have these shocks straight up and down. We can actually have them angled in, which will get the car a lot more profile. And then we wouldn't have to have this big old pumpkin piece back here because this piece is holding everything for the axle and stuff. So we can actually eliminate a lot more weight and be a lot more simplistic if we had this piece done. Yeah.
Will the back be independent suspension or
Yeah.
will it still be?
Should be independent suspension, right, Colton? It should be independent, right? Because it's just hooked to the ball part hooks there. And I'll have to look into it, but yeah, I think it's independent suspension. So now we're not locked in and having to create this monster in the back. We can then have it so that, independent suspension should be a lot better. Because on the turning, what did you guys notice when you started turning when you were driving?
Sean flipped it.
I flipped it 3 times, but I did not break my
One side it
car.
actually turned, like instead of
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
like it could like turn sharp on a right, but it could only turn like this much on the left.
Yeah.
So
I
it
didn't
was
have that.
kind of difficult because then like that's how it would like we'd get passes because it would only go like this far instead of going like this far.
You
And
can
that's-
adjust that with the turnbuckles though, like.
Yeah, but no, if you
Straight
kept
down.
going though, then it wouldn't turn as well right either.
Yeah.
Did a lot of you guys peel out in the back?
Would-
Like just wash out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Started just
Yeah, that's the issue with the axle.
straight axle.
Yeah, because you don't have the independent suspension where it keeps that tread on the ground. So as soon as one tire goes up, so you're just like, that's why cars aren't made that way. But for us, and just to get kind of going, it was perfect.
It was a good first car.
Yeah, it was a great first car. So now, moving forward, we'll make some changes that we suggested here for the champion, and we'll get that one finalized because next year's 6th, 7th graders will need something to kind of go by. And if you guys have, just like with the plane people, the plane peeps have their own planes that they can start going by. They'll be able to have a drawing or a truck that they can print out and immediately start going with. So, no, I'm proud of you guys. You guys did a really good job. Now it's just fine-tuning your CAD skills so that you guys can venture off, right? Because if not, you're just kind of sitting there going, I can design and think up this cool car, but if you can't get
How do you?
CAD and to be able to utilize the tools in here, you got to know that stuff. And you got to know, and you got to be able to see your spatial awareness, and you got to know measurement, and you got to be able to, almost see the product done before you even started it. Because if you could see it, then it'll be a lot better for you guys too when you guys are actually designing. You're going to eliminate, keep printing out, mess up, printing out, mess up, printing out, mess up, printing out. As long as, because we only printed, we did the back end twice.
Yeah.
then the front end once. The middle section was only once. We never pinned that one out again. And then the front end was once too, right? Oh no, front
'cause
end
we-
took a couple times.
Yeah, we had to change the secondary lining, I suppose you could call it.
So when you guys are branching off and doing your own thing, when you guys are ready to print something, just to kind of see it physically in your hands first before you start moving on with your drawing, always cut out with foam board first. That's your prototype. So if you're going to cut your chassis out, foam board it out, and then you kind of see if the pieces fit and kind of go from there, and then you guys can go wood, or hopefully when Mr. Lepp and those guys finish the CNC router, we can start doing maybe some aluminum pieces or some carbon fiber pieces.
Yeah.
'Cause that'll be really nice. Well, do you guys have anything else to add to the champion truck?
It'd be really cool if it could fly.
Yeah.
Like put a quad on top of it.
Just
Well,
connect it
let's
to
just go over some of the projects you guys are thinking of doing
Yeah.
for second semester. What are you guys gonna do?
So we're gonna do a Lamborghini monster truck with like a shell that's way too small for the cars. It's like this big and the regular shells are like this big. So we're gonna just pretty much downsize it, and we found these monster truck wheels that are like this big, and the fender wheel on the Lamborghini is like this big. So it's gonna be pretty fun. It's gonna be tough to build because it's not a same shell as the Traxxas, so we're gonna have to find out some ways to do that.
Nice.
I really don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I started. I'm thinking of designing a 1969 Ford, a flying car, an Aston Martin DB10. Yeah. And I've already started.
Nice.
Me and Coleman are gonna try to do a Jeep.
A Jeep?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That'd be really cool. And this is almost similar too.
Let's make it taller.
Right. Just make it taller.
I'm gonna try to work on like a little like buggy that like you drive in the sands.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna try and figure out a way to do an RC motorcycle.
Cool.
I'm gonna modify the champion that we have, mostly the front, and then depending on how that goes, modify it to have the
To accommodate the new
independent.
system. Awesome. Yeah, that'd be really cool. So we got a couple guys, and maybe you can get in that too.
Yeah.
Get on in some of the champions stuff. Well, that'll kind of conclude. We'll probably do some more of these and talk more and get together to figure out where you guys are going to be headed, and we'll do some design days. We'll get you on CAD and kind of get you trying to sketch up some of your guys' initial thoughts. But yeah, you guys did a really good job, and thanks for everyone who helped out with the project online. Our supporters for helping us out, and we'll keep on moving forward. Thanks for watching.